So, fun fact, my uncle, yep, my actual direct uncle was on this ship in 1942. I think it was 42, 43. It's kind of cool. If we walk in there and find him on the big plaque with all the names and everything.
"61 sites, approximately 6 pull-throughs. The back ends on the water are absolutely beautiful."
Hey y'all, I'm Greg.
I'm Renee.
And we're at historic Blakely State Park in Battlefield. So I was like 12 or 13 years old, and my dad just came in. It was like, everybody get up, we're going somewhere today. And he took us here for the Civil War reenactment that I don't even know if they have it anymore, but it was crazy cool. And I always remember that Civil War reenactment they did here. It was like in April or something, and I think it might be a hidden gem. We'll go check out where the RVs get to hang out at. And just overall, what do you think?
So when you mentioned Civil War reenactment, it kind of makes me think of the movie Sweet Home Alabama, when they did that, like she goes out in the field looking for her daddy. There's a ton of history here, which we will delve deeply into for ourselves. Greg will not pass a single placard that doesn't get read thoroughly.
Yeah, so if we're here still and haven't started out on our epic summer loop in April, if they're still, I need to look that up.
Yeah,
we need to look that up.
We need to look and see if they still do it.
If they're still having a reenactment,
I want to come.
We're going to come to it.
Yep. So it is a gorgeous day. It is February 1st. In southern Alabama, Mobile, Alabama. We're in Spanish Fort, right across the bay. And it's a little bit warmer than usual. It kind of feels more like March, but people are out bike riding. There's tons of trails to hike, bike, horseback ride all around here at the state park. So even if it's the normal, usual southern Alabama temperatures, it's great. Aside from their epic winter snowfall that they had in January, we're back to normal here. And it's a great place to RV in the wintertime. I think if you're trying to get away from the usuals where you've already been, Florida or Quartzsite.
Yep.
Another place to go, another place to check out. A lot of history here. You've got the battleship, you've got Blakely State Park, you've got Fort Morgan, Fort Conde. And also, if you're still around, late February, early March, you just have to watch each year. You got Mardi Gras.
Every time we go to these cool parks like this that have all these mountain bike trails, y'all tell me if there's anybody that's thinking like this too, is like, I want to swipe up a mountain bike or an e-bike and get into that whole craze. I'm just not sure which one we should do, like a fully manual mountain bike or an e-bike, and I don't know. So just something thinking about. Yeah, just random thoughts. I don't know.
Historic Blakely State Park. Within these more than 2,000 acres of some of the most biodiverse habitat in North America, the park contains the sites of Alabama's largest Civil War battle, the important early Alabama town of Blakely, and Native American settlements dating back thousands of years. Nowhere else will you experience such a rare combination of rich cultural heritage and abundant natural beauty. It's just so, I don't know, seeing the trenches severely dug out. Nothing has changed enough that you wouldn't know. Those are trenches.
So a little bit of history about this is Blakely was actually a city that was larger than Mobile in the early 1800s. Yellow fever wiped it out, and it was literally like a few houses by the time the Civil War came, and this was all done for the battle.
How do you know all this?
I know. One thing that a historian that I knew at one time told me was that yellow fever wiped out the town so quickly, it made locals like kind of scared of the area. And that added a little bit to, after the battle, how this was so untouched for so many years and made it for so long until they were able to come along, I think into the 1950s, and preserve it all.
Wow, that's crazy. Some of these things that you know historically.
Well, it's only because we come here and it triggers, you know, after all these years.
Got you. This memorial is dedicated to the soldiers who lost their lives in the siege and battle of Blakely in April of 1865.
So when I was a kid, they didn't have these structures over that were protecting the foundation. So that's pretty neat that they're doing that now.
Really?
Yeah, you can see like the original flooring of the courthouse right here on the top.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
All right, hang on. I'm going to get y'all in there. That's really cool. So tell me about the tree that we came to this area to find. I actually didn't think it would be mentioned, but it is.
Yeah, it's a tree they hung people from. I think their first hanging was there or something like that. First or only hanging is a hanging tree.
Okay, so let's see. It should be specifically marked, huh?
Yep. We'll look for it.
So I spot it, and they actually have it marked with a sign. Here we have the hanging tree, and while it may not be on the actual map they give you at the park entrance, it is marked.
It's cool that it's still alive. Live oak's still alive. Live oaks have a long lifespan. I mean, there was like a 300-year-old one on Camp Lejeune.
So here you are, town square, the hanging tree. And over here are the ghost structures.
Morning, y'all. I feel like sitting here in early February that we're in like RV purgatory right now. So I have a truck with a blown transmission, something I got to sort through here in the next week or so. And of course, we got the RV with all kinds of fun stuff that we're going to do with it. Are the rest of y'all like us, where you're like, there's this point in the wintertime where you're like stuck in this purgatory of doing mods and fixing things and getting ready for the summertime rush of travel and things? Oh, also, what do y'all think about 460 amp hours of lithium battery? That's what I'm thinking about doing. So loosely thinking about that. That's also on the list of mods. So we've had some heavy stuff hit us lately in the line of things going wrong and things needing doing. And we're excited now to actually be jumping on some things and getting ready for the summer travel season.
So if you watched some of our previous videos, you have seen this old girl, 29-year-old Dodge Cummins 2500. And Greg made jokes that we would run what we had to start this, and that we'd turn her into dust. So we have
a new transmission. I attempted to turn it into dust.
So in those travels, we have had battery issues with the higher elevation, not a real big ordeal. We've had a massive oil leak on the backside of the engine. You can check out those videos from that. And our last trip down to Tampa, Florida for the 2025 Florida RV show, on our way down, we blew fifth gear in our transmission. So here we are. We have
New transmission. And don't get me wrong, I love the old girl. Not this old girl, but this old
don't
girl
love
behind
me?
me.
He
But
loves her more.
we're gonna put the new transmission in, do some things to get her buttoned up to where she can live a good life of just being
And we have
transient, transiting us just around, and exciting times to come here in the next 1 or 2 months.
Yep, so we have some new changes coming after this, but step by step, we got to take care of this first. We'll see how greasy Greg can get. We got to find a place to do this work because he's going to do it himself.
Yep, sounds good.
So stay tuned.
What she said.